Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone, and you're watching the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. 1 hour of commercial-free podcasting starts now. Enjoy the show.
Take it away, Shawners.
All right. Welcome back to the Super Fantasy Bros podcast. As you can see, Matt has been banned from the podcast until he figures out his setup. Just kidding. He's on vacation for the next 2 episodes. So it will be Q, T-Gods, and myself holding down the fort. But in today's episode, we will be breaking down the 49ers and the Rams to wrap up the NFC West. With the intro out of the way, let's get right into the San Francisco 49ers.
We're like the Nets right now. We can't all be on the pod at the same time. We've only had one of those.
I know. We can't stay together, man. Too busy in the summer. I'm sure once August hits, we'll all be here for the most part. We missed you last week, Q, for sure, even though you were in the chat, basically a part of the episode anyways.
Yep.
All right. Let's start with some of the questions surrounding the San Francisco 49ers. It seems like Jimmy Garoppolo may still be moved before the season starts, with some GMs around the league speculating he could even be released from the Niners. Do you think they should keep him or just fully move on to Trey Lance at this point?
Move on.
I think
I'm with you.
In real life football, I think they should keep him because he's had so much success with them. He took them to the Super Bowl and beat the Packers last year. But fantasy wise, I think Trey Lance, because running is so valuable in a quarterback in fantasy. So that's who we would want fantasy wise. But I think the 49ers in real life, they should keep Jimmy.
Yep. Jimmy definitely can get them there. I want to see Jimmy, obviously. I mean, with the team they had, they probably could have won the Super Bowl that year or last year. Like the roster's pretty much set up for success at this point, as long as everybody stays healthy. But I also think Trey Lance has a little bit more potential. So I think both they should probably move on. I think Jimmy G, they're kind of just stuck in this position where they're being held back by their quarterback a little bit with the potential of this offense and the very solid defense. But that's just my opinion. If they do go with Trey Lance, is he a draft target for you this season at all?
Not in the draft. Maybe like a bye week fill-in, hopefully by the time of buys, that if he's starting, we know that he's viable, but I'm not targeting him at all. Maybe in Dynasty, but
yeah, definitely in Dynasty. He's got to be owned in every single league for sure. But for redraft purposes, I have him at 16. So like, unless you're in a deep league, I wouldn't want him as my starter. I think he's a solid backup with upside that you would grab, especially if you grab a quarterback late. He's someone I would like to pair with like Derek Carr or something, or Kirk Cousins, even Matt Stafford. Just having him as a backup in case of injury or in case he starts getting hot. So
the 3 games he played last year, he did do pretty well. I think he had like over 17 in all 3 games that he played.
Yeah, he didn't look great, but for fantasy purposes, he was getting points. So that's what you want to see for sure. Let's move on to the next question. The 49ers drafted Tyrion Davis-Prince in the 3rd round of this year's draft. Reports suggest Eli Mitchell is still the team's top back, but how confident are you that Eli Mitchell holds that role throughout the season?
Not very.
He's good, and he was very good last year, but we know that they like to use all their running backs, and they use them well. So that's definitely a threat to Mitchell's workload.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. I'm definitely a little bit nervous just because it's also Kyle Shanahan, just because he can throw whoever he wants out there. But it seemed like last year when Eli Mitchell was healthy, he was pretty loyal. He wanted him to be that guy that's getting the bulk of the work there. He didn't hold up too well durability wise. He did get banged up a couple times throughout the year, but I'd still think Eli Mitchell would hold that role as long as he's healthy. I don't really know what Davis-Prince's skill set fully looks like in the NFL. He still could be a year away or so from getting to that top level back, ready to go take on 3 downs. But I do think he will take away some work compared to what Trey Sermon was taking away last year.
That's who I was trying to figure out who that guy was, but he was like a disappointment though, I think.
Huge disappointment. He was drafted over Eli Mitchell. He was drafted in the 3rd, and then they drafted Eli Mitchell in the 6th, and Eli Mitchell ended up being the guy anyways.
Yeah, Hasty was more relevant than him.
Hasty, oh my God.
Get
he
Hasty.
was
Maybe
more relevant than Sermon.
Hello, Mr. Caps.
Yeah. I guess he could have been.
I never left my Discord. Now B-Son's yelling in my ear.
Nice. Yes. And they also still have Jeff Wilson too. So he could also mix in. But right now, still Eli Mitchell's the guy you want to draft. No doubt about it. George Kittle has missed 13 games over the past 3 seasons. Is this something you are thinking about when drafting him as a top 3 tight end? Are you nervous at all about his injury history, or is the upside too good to pass up on him?
No, if you know me, you know all I talk about is injuries. No, like I'm like he's great, but like I don't even want him. I don't want the headache. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I don't. I just don't, dude. Is it worth it?
I have a feeling this
It
year
might
that
be
it's
worth
going to
it.
be a very healthy season for
Why?
I'm with you.
Christian McCaffrey and Kittle, especially. But yeah, you're thinking about it. I still think he's top 3. He could be flip-flopped with Kelsey.
He's always like banged up a little bit, but he does seem to play for the most part. I mean, even through the last 4 seasons, he was tight end 3, tight end 2. 2020 is when he missed the most games. He only played 8. It was tight end 20. But then last year, even with missing a couple of games also, he was still tight end 4. So I think the upside's too good to pass up on him.
He had 2 30-plus games, 30-point-plus games.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You guys like being stressed out.
Nah,
I do.
not always. But I think he's one I would take the risk on, especially at such a shallow position. Like I'd rather have George Kittle than most of those guys after tight end 7 or 8. So
Maybe I'm just biased because I'd never draft tight ends early.
yeah. I respect it. Got to find
I'm not
somebody
stressed. The day doesn't feel normal.
Yeah, especially when we're watching football on Sunday. I'm always stressed. All right, let's get into some cap or no cap for the 49ers. Starting off with Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel starts the season as a San Francisco 49er. Cap or no cap?
No cap.
No cap. Has there been any news? Didn't he report to camp or whatever?
Yeah, he reported to camp after all of the offseason headache. I'm sure he still has some part of him that doesn't want to be there, but it seems like they've kissed and made up. So I'm also going to say no cap. I think Debo's going to start there, and I think he's going to play there for the whole season. I don't think they're going to trade him midseason or anything crazy like that.
No, probably not.
Yeah, and he's going to be good again. He just might not be as much of a running back because apparently he does not like that. Next one here, cap or no cap. Brandon Ayuk is being undervalued at his current ADP of wide receiver 40, 98th overall.
Like technically no cap. I mean, I think he's just like maybe like 37, but I have to see where I ranked him. But I think if Debo were to get traded, he'd be top 30.
Oh,
But
yeah.
as of right now, I would say he's properly being valued at the good spot.
Yeah, I
Good spot.
agree. I just looked it up. He finished 36.
Yeah. Last year, I mean, obviously, we remember talking about him every single day.
He was
Uh-huh.
stinky.
Yeah.
He let me down, dude. I was a big fan last year.
Yeah. I was not as big of a fan. I still had some faith in him. I ended up moving him over Debo right before the season started.
My
and then
God.
Debo
So you guys
obviously was
convinced
much
you.
better. Yeah, I was getting sold throughout the whole offseason, trying to get convinced, but Debo ended up being the better guy. You got to stick with my gut sometimes.
Sorry.
Either way, Brandon Ayuk, I got him at 44, so I think that's fairly ranked around 40. I think that's right where I'm drafting him. He's in that tier with some of those rookie wide receivers that have a lot of upside. Russell Gage, Hunter Renfrow, Gabe Davis. There's a lot of guys in that tier that could have some more potential, but are still limited behind what's in front of them. Same thing for Ayuk with Debo. All right, last cap or no cap for the 49ers. Eli Mitchell will finish the season as a top 20 running back.
Cap because they have so many good running backs. But if he's like the solidified RB1, then maybe he'll finish top 25. Top 20, that was too low or too
I'll tell
too
you why
small.
during my bold take.
All right.
Don't
All
you
right.
worry.
I'm going to say no cap because I have him ranked to 20. So I'm sticking to my rankings.
Where did he
Being
finish last year?
Technical. I think he was 26, but he also missed a lot of games. So he was pretty productive in the games that he did play. Yeah, he was RB 26 last year, but he only played 11 games. So he missed 6 games and was still nearly top 25. So I'm taking him to be top 20 this year. As long as he's healthy throughout the season, even if Davis Price starts to eat into his workload, he's still going to have, if he's healthy all year, he's going to be a top 20 back, in my opinion.
And they actually have to listen to Debo and not put him at running back because that would just threaten him even more.
Yep, exactly. As long as he's healthy, I believe in the talent in Eli Mitchell. All right, let's get into our bold takes for the San Francisco 49ers. Q, what do you got?
There's not much to grab at here, but I'm just saying like Jimmy Garoppolo finishes the season. Maybe it's just because I like him, but fantasy wise, not the best starting quarterback, but I think that he's better than Trey Lance, or else Trey Lance would probably have started last year. But yeah, I just think Jimmy Garoppolo finishes the season and takes him to the playoffs. I guess he'd have to be that good if he's a starter the whole season.
Yeah, he definitely would, because their expectations are definitely playoffs. But I'm on the other side of that, Q. I think Trey Lance is going to be the starter for the start of the season, but we'll see.
What?
We will see. I think they're going to get rid of Jimmy G personally, but you never know. All right, you guys, what do you got?
So my bold take is that the 49ers do not have a single running back in the top 25.
Ooh.
Do you know the last one that was?
Mostert.
Frank Gore.
Nope.
Not
It
even
was
Frank
Carlos
Gore.
Hyde in 2017.
Okay.
He was
So
good.
He was good that year.
He finished 8th that year.
Jeez.
But point is, not a single running back has finished inside the top 25 from the 49ers since 2017, and I think that happens again.
I think in 2019, Mostert was like 26.
He was
so,
26.
So 26 in 2019 and 26 last year.
And Matt
They're
Breida
close.
was 26 in 2018 too.
They're
So
allergic to top 25.
There's always somebody right there, but they're just right on the cusp of top 25. Yeah, they do switch them around a lot. So I could see it. I could definitely see it happening again. All right, I'll finish this off here for the 49ers. Not that bold, but I'm going to say George Kittle stays healthy for the season, finishes the season as tight end 1. We saw Travis Kelce finally get dethroned last year, as Q was predicting all offseason, by Mark Andrews. This year, I think it's George Kittle who takes over that throne and finally finishes as the number 1 tight end in fantasy. Lock it in.
I like that more than saying Kelsey's finishing number 1, but I like Mark Andrews the most.
I like Mark Andrews a lot too, but I think Kittle's also going to have a huge year. So I think they're going to be top 3, Mark Andrews, Kelce, and Kittle. But I think Kittle ends up as the number 1.
They're lucky Gronk retired.
Yeah, I guess.
He'd be number 1.
Number 1 in your heart.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to T-God's jersey, the Los Angeles Rams, Cooper Kupp, Super Bowl champs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's discuss. All right. First question here. And one of the biggest signings this offseason, Los Angeles Rams brought in Allen Robinson and moved on from Robert Woods. After the nightmare of a season that Allen Robinson had last year, how big of a bounce back can we expect from him?
Top 20. I said it one of the first pods we did. I forget, maybe offseason moves, but last year was strange, and it's funny. Like, we kept saying how he was so good with bad quarterbacks and like bounced back, or it finally came back and bit him. But we saw OBJ make the resurrection with his career with Matt Stafford. I think Allen Robinson will be just as good, because I think he's better than OBJ. Top 20.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't hate it. I mean, I definitely think he could be top 20. I have him at 22, right on the outside of that. So I'm not too far off from that.
Give him 20.
I'm excited to just see him play and actually hopefully be good again.
Me too, dude.
The Bears, watching him last year was literally painful after seeing how much talent he had for the past 6 or 7 years before that. Even with Blake Bortles throwing in passes.
Bortles. I was gonna mention that. Who have his quarterbacks been?
Dude, his quarterbacks have been atrocious. Like, one of the worst quarterback. Him and DeAndre Hopkins, until DeAndre Hopkins got Kyler Murray. He had some terrible ones with the Texans, but Allen Robinson, the Bears, who else did he have?
Wait, you said he hasn't had a good quarterback since Kyler Murray. Like, they didn't have Deshaun Watson.
Who? Oh, he did have T-Watt too for like 1 year also. But I meant before that. Like, he had the first 5 years, his quarterbacks were like Ryan Mallett and whatnot. But yeah, he had Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, and Bortles, and I think, did he play with Minshew? No, Minshew wasn't there. Yeah, just not good quarterbacks overall. Either way, I'm excited to see him play with Matt Stafford. We've seen him rejuvenate OBJ's career. I think the same can happen for A-Rob. Quick question. Do you think OBJ eventually comes back to the Rams again, or does he sign elsewhere?
No, I think he comes back. I think he had too much fun.
I mean, he won the Super Bowl. He
Yeah.
probably would have been Super Bowl MVP if he wasn't hurt.
I think he'll take like a veteran minimum contract or like a small contract too. I mean, it seems like he's not going to be ready to come back until like October anyways, at the latest November, I think the report said. So he's not going to be ready for the start of the season. So he might be like a mid-season addition for them. I don't even know if he's going to get signed before then. So
Just don't go back to Cleveland.
So
please
just
don't go
a
back
fun
to Cleveland.
fact: Blake Bortles finished quarterback 4 in 2015.
He could run too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He had that one, and that was when A-Rob, I think, had one of his best seasons as well. Yeah, A-Rob was wide receiver 6, his best season.
Didn't they have the other guy too? That was Alan Hearns. Was that his
Alan
good year
Hearns,
too?
like, only good season. Yeah,
Care have
2015
had them
Jaguars
both.
offense was garbage time kings. They put up points. All right, next question. Does Van Jefferson become an afterthought again in this offense now that he is the third wide receiver option again?
I hope
Yes.
so.
Still
I
might be
do.
nice
I
to
hope so.
stash. Still stash him, but I don't think he's playable.
I mean, yeah, definitely not.
Yeah,
Undraftable? Question mark?
he might be.
I'll draft him. He's like the last round, but
He might be. I mean, the only way he's really going to be relevant is if, number one, they don't re-sign OBJ, and then if an injury goes down, or if Allen Robinson looks like he did last year, which I don't think happens. So, yeah, I'm not targeting him in any way, unless, like you said, like a very late round pick, more of a dynasty stash than someone I'm ready to roll out there and start.
He's in the same tier as Tutu now.
A little over 2-2 for me.
Little.
We've at least seen Van Jefferson be productive. Tutu barely touched the field last year. All right. Last question before we do some cap or no cap. Cam Akers played pretty well in the playoffs last year after coming back from the torn Achilles. Darrell Henderson played really well in his absence, though, during the season. He missed roughly 6 games and still finished as RB27, so pretty much kind of the same level of production as Eli Mitchell did. Are we fully confident in Cam Akers as the RB1 this year? And how important is it to get both of these guys on your roster in drafts?
Slightly confident, but definitely important to get them both because Henderson is just like a nuisance on Cam Akers' value.
I agree. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Cam Akers has always been like. Is there like a guy that like everyone talks about, but you know nothing about personally?
There's always a couple of those.
You know
Like
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins.
Like you
that
just
for
never
me.
had them on your team. You haven't really paid attention to them.
Literally exactly what Cam Akers is to me, and I have no idea how to feel about him.
Yeah. I mean, we've obviously never seen him fully healthy, like starting a full season or whatever. His rookie season, he was still kind of the backup at that point, ended up like RB46. And then last year, obviously missed the entire season until the last game of the year and then played through the playoffs. So his talent level's up there. I still think he's a talented back, but I am a bit nervous about just how he's going to pan out. And Henderson was really productive last year also. So I wouldn't be shocked if he starts struggling. McVay just pulls the plug and switches to Henderson, goes with the hot hand kind of thing. He did that a little bit with Sony Michel and Henderson last year too. So,
Oh my God, I forgot they had Sony also. He was
they don't have him anymore, but
Yeah.
they did have him. Yeah, he was a nuisance as well for
You
Henderson.
loved Sony.
I do not love Sony.
You love Sony. Oh,
I love
Sam.
Henderson.
Sam loves Sony.
I was a big Henderson guy, but I do think Cam Akers for now, I'd still definitely draft him as the RB1, but I would definitely need Henderson as the handcuff to feel fully comfortable. And they did also draft another running back, Kyron Williams, in the 5th round. Does he get any playing time with these two, or is he more of just reserve?
maybe there's injuries, but
He's just watching.
yeah.
I would agree as well. I think their top 2 are set. All right, cap or no cap for the Rams. Matt Stafford is being undervalued at his current ADP of quarterback 11, 79th overall. Cap or no cap?
No
No
cap.
cap.
Undervalued AF.
Should definitely be considered a top 10 quarterback.
He finished 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him
Wait.
at 9.
Was it 6?
I don't know exactly where he finished.
It was 5.
Yeah, even better. Won the Super Bowl last year. Maybe people are predicting the Super Bowl slump, but
He had some stinkers.
he did have a couple
Many
games.
stinkers.
It's okay. Everybody has their off
No,
days.
yeah. But Yeah, I'm still taking him top 10.
Yeah, he did have a few bad games, but he also had like 8 30-point games. So he put up numbers when he put up numbers. He's definitely someone I'm targeting. I have him at 9. Pretty confident in him. I think he should
Stafford,
definitely
Joe
be going
Burrow.
higher than 11. I got
Stafford.
Burrow at 8.
Where do you have Staff?
9. So I have Burrow slightly over, but they're kind of in the same tier for me. Like, it depends on the mood I'm feeling. If they're both there sitting as the best quarterbacks available, what am I feeling?
Stafford, Dak.
I know you. Oh, Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford as well.
Cowboys are going to be pooped this year, fantasy wise.
I'll rock out with Dak again, I guess. He's always
Stafford
free.
or Russ.
Staff.
Wait, Stafford who?
Russ.
100% Staff.
Yeah, I'm taking Staff.
I have Staff as well. Staff or Aaron Rodgers.
Staff.
See, that's a good one.
They're both in the same kind of tier for me as well.
Devontae Adams, bro.
He's
It's Staff.
going, bro.
I'm taking Staff.
Yeah. It's got to be Staff just because Rodgers is also
his
gone.
number one, number 2, and number 3 option if OBJ comes back are all better than Rodgers options.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, next one, cap or no cap. Cooper Kupp finishes as the number 1 wide receiver again this season, as he proved he is one of the best last season.
Cap.
I don't know, bro.
Only because when's the last time we saw it? And it was like AB who did it like 3 years in a row, I think. And he's like one of the best ever. But if he does it this year, maybe I'll be more confident going into the next year. I don't know.
AB was an enigma.
I think he does it again. I have no reason to think he doesn't.
I just think he takes. I think A-Rob takes a little bit more work away than Woods was, but maybe not. I don't know. I think Cooper Kupp's probably a lock for top 5, if not top 3.
Him and Staff's chemistry is just too crazy.
Yeah, and if I'm not putting Coop at 1, then I don't know. Like I don't know who the number 2 wide receiver for me in my ranks are. I don't have him right with me, but I don't have a next number 1 if it's
I don't
not
have
Cooper
Cooper Kupp ranked as my number 1.
I don't know if I
have Justin Jefferson as my number 1.
Jesus,
I'm all in on JJF this year.
he's top 3.
Easily top 3.
Wait, one more Stafford or someone though. Stafford or Hurts?
Hurts.
I'm taking Hurts because he can run.
Okay.
I got Hurts high this year. We'll talk about that, I think, next week.
Oh,
yeah.
Juicy.
Oh, and Matt's missing that.
Maybe we'll save it for Thursday so Matt can be on it.
Nah. Don't go on vacation during the season. Oops, I did.
You did last episode.
Don't do it during the NFC East.
All right, we'll see. All right, last cap or no cap. Tyler Higbee finishes as a top 12 tight end this season. He was tight end 14 last year, by the way.
I feel like he's never been consistent enough,
even with bad tight ends, to be top 12.
I'm also saying cap.
I don't really know, nor do I really care. I mean, it's Tyler Higbee.
Yeah.
And tight ends suck anyway. He's probably just another one of those villains that you just throw in your lineup or you just draft at the end.
Yeah.
No one cares about him. Who cares?
He's the definition of that for sure. And there's a lot of guys I like over him this year specifically too. There's a lot of guys out there that are going to be coming back. Tunyon's coming back from injury. Dawson Knox played really well last year. He's going to have more opportunity now. Freiermuth played well.
Locking up Noah Fant early.
Noah Fant.
Noah Fant in the 6th.
Stop. That's disgusting. Don't ever say that again. Nah. I'm also a big fan of Irv Smith, and he's back this year. So,
of course,
get yourself some Irv Smith.
Wait, he's Irv Smith Jr.?
Yeah.
He's on the Rams?
No, he's on the Vikings. I was just talking about people I like over Higbee.
Okay. I was going to say, why are we talking about Higbee then?
Yeah, no. Higbee's not finishing top 12. That's cap. Cap. All right, let's do our bold takes. T-Gods, what do you got?
My bold take will be the man Matthew Stafford finishes inside, not the top 5, not the top 4. Top three.
I didn't know where that was stopping.
I had to stop at 3. What?
Wow.
Who's the top 3 or the other 2?
Got to be Josh Allen, I feel like.
Yeah.
No, I hate him. I hate him ever since he lost me that money.
Wow.
No, that's a valid reason, but
I mean, Dak's gonna be number 1.
No.
Oh my God, I'm
my
joking.
God.
Please. No, it's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
about
like
to kick you out of the
Mahomes,
podcast.
Mahomes, Brady, staff.
Brady. All right, I like it.
How are you?
I don't think
What?
Holmes isn't
Say
finishing
something
top
bad
three.
about Brady, please.
Brady
think-
top 3?
I don't think any of those guys will finish top 3.
Brady literally finished 3 last year.
Did he really?
Yeah. Hey, you.
They lost Gronk.
He did finish 3, but before that he was 7. They did lose Gronk.
That's not a
And
big
Godwin's
deal.
not going to be back till like October.
We got off track. Matthew
I did
Stafford
get off
finishes
track.
top 3. I
All
don't
right.
think he's ever done
Doesn't
that in his
matter who's
career.
around him. I respect the take.
I don't think he's. I only could go back to 2012, and he wasn't top 3 any of those years. He was 4 in 2013, but that's it. First time ever. He needs to do it once before he retires.
Yeah, I respect it.
Thank you.
All right, Q, what do you got?
So I mean, it's not that hot. I think the Rams finished with the number 1 D, even though they lost Von Miller this year.
They added hella pieces though.
Yeah, but Von Miller's Von Miller, even though he's old.
Yeah, they added Bobby Wagner.
Oh my God, they did. Yeah, number 1 by a long shot, which now makes my next take not as hot either. That I think that they score more points this season than Tyler Higbee does in the entire season. A little bit that's my hatred towards Tyler Higbee, but Higbee is not that great. And Rams they added Bobby Wagner, so Jesus, give him the crown now.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. Last year, Higbee had 147.
Yeah, they had 20 more points.
Rams had 100 and I think 6 or something like that.
Oh, I thought they had 121.
Maybe I'm looking at a different scoring system, but either way, I can see it happening. I like it. All right, I'll finish this off here. Darrell Henderson outscores Cam Akers in fantasy points this season, even if both stay healthy. Lock it in. Cam Akers, not a huge believer in the talent. I do think he does get the opportunity at first, and if he does show that he's fully capable of being that RB1, this take would just be terrible. But not 100% sure. Achilles still scares me. Just a lot of question marks around Cam Akers, and Henderson showed last year that even throughout the season, did get a little banged up, but when he had the opportunity, he put up numbers and was very productive for the Rams.
What is
Lock
it with
it in.
you and Darrell Henderson? I'm glad that we had this podcast because we can go back to when you wouldn't accept Herbert for Henderson. Imagine like denying that now. I mean,
Yo,
obviously
that
he
was just
wouldn't,
a
but
bad take.
like,
was
he's
a
not
rookie.
Todd Gurley, and he's
I
not
know
better
he's
than
not Todd
Cam
Gurley.
Akers.
I never said he was Todd Gurley. You always just
his value
thought
is
I said
Todd Gurley to you.
No, he's not. Not even close. You put words in my mouth. I never said that once. Never even said he was going to be the next Todd Gurley. That
They
never
created-
Yeah,
happened.
you did.
You
said
thought
it.
he
did
was
not.
prime Todd Gurley.
Did not say
That's why he
that.
said Justin Herbert.
Pull
Hell
up
no.
the receipts.
The trade denial was all the story. That's all I needed to create the story.
I had buys coming up. I was nervous about my running back depth, and I thought I was comfortable with my quarterbacks. I think I had Stafford, and he let me down big time. Either way, let's do some trivia. Q, let's move on. That's a wrap for the Rams and the Niners. We're going to do some trivia, and we'll do some Q&A.
All right. I think I have like 3 questions. We'll see how fast you get through them. Let me get the timer ready.
I'm excited. I had to
I'm
be the
not.
host last time.
I tried to take it easy because I had 2 very busy days at work, so I had to come up with some bullshit, but not hard
Uh-oh.
bullshit.
Uh-oh.
All right. First question. What player in the 2021 season caught the most passes without any drops? This player finished with the
Season with 73 receptions, and they're in this division. They're in the NFC West. 73 catches, no drops. And they're in the division.
I'm looking up the wait.
We just did him.
I know he just did them, but I literally woke up 10 minutes before this. I'm not even sure where we're at.
I knew
right
you
now.
were sleeping. I told Sean, I said, I bet he's sleeping.
73 catches. That's a lot of catches. I
With
think
no
T. Higgins
drops?
had 74 last year.
So Tyler Boyd finishes with six less than him, and then the only ones that caught 40 plus without a drop was Hunter Henry, Braxton Berrios,
And JD McKissick. But none of them are in the division, so it's not much of a spoiler.
Yeah. How much time we got?
125.
73 catches, no drops. Can't be Ayuk. He was so bad. He had to have dropped the pass.
I don't think he got enough attempts to have.
73 catches.
Oh. just gonna go with reliable. Nope, I'm switching it. All right, I think I got it. I hope.
Okay.
There we go. You guys got it?
Yep.
Very famous player that we talked about last year. It is Tyler Lockett.
No way.
Who did you guys
I
put?
literally put his teammate, dude.
Who did you put, T Gods?
Wait, you put DK?
Yeah.
Didn't DK
I
be
guess
He had
dropping?
bad hands.
DK be
he had
dropping.
bad hands.
I was trying to remember last episode because I know we talked about their stats last episode, and I knew one of them had 2 more catches than the other, and I thought Lockett had 2 more catches than the other. DK had 75, Lockett had 73. Couldn't remember. I knew it was one of them, and I almost wrote Lockett, and then I said, and then I wrote DK like an idiot.
All right, so here's where you can tell that I didn't put much effort into these next 2 questions.
Wait, T-Gods, who did you put?
I don't even know how much he played with D-Hop.
I was gonna put D-Hop until I thought about the Seahawks.
I would be like, I don't know.
That's just a safe one.
Yeah, it
He
was.
usually doesn't
Was that
drop
your
passes.
old reliable?
Yeah. All right, Q, go ahead.
Next question. This is a
Very simple one.
kind of.
Okay.
Who had more receiving touchdowns in 2021? Devontae Adams?
Or Cooper Cup. That's basically it.
50,
That's
50 shot.
juicy.
It is juicy.
Trick question. They tied.
Two old reliable, not trick, not that tricky.
Oh man, that's
2
That could
number
be-
ones?
but like no, I know it. I got it.
Bro, I feel like it has to be like a trick question. He wants us to say Cooper Cup.
I mean, I can't answer that question.
I feel like you just want us to say.
I said it. I said something. I wrote it. I locked it in.
Okay.
it's actually an Eagles player. No,
The answer is Devontae Adams.
Stop.
he had 18.
I knew
Cooper
it
Kupp
was-
had
I
16.
I
I thought
knew it
Cooper
was a
Kupp had
trick
like the
question,
triple
bro.
crown or whatever.
Well,
Maybe I was
hopefully I'm not looking at the wrong year.
But does the Triple Crown include touchdowns?
I don't know.
Has to. Well,
You
Yeah,
lied,
that's-
Q. Adams had 11 touchdowns. You
what was it
capper.
the year before? 2020.
He had 18.
Okay, so it's still correct.
It's correct if you said 2020.
I did.
You didn't.
See, you guys
I
what?
did it in.
Q's capping to my face. I knew
Oh
he
my-
won the triple crown.
So who gets the point here?
You can
I
have it
guess
because Q thought
no.
it was.
All right,
Whatever, I
yeah,
don't
no
care.
one gets it. No one gets it. Q, of course, the one I get right, Q fucks it up.
I'm sorry.
You said 2021, right? Think I'm not crazy.
I
I think you
did.
said last year.
Okay. No, you said last year. Yeah. Okay. I'm not insane.
All right,
Sean,
we can
you're
do-
in charge of trivia now.
I didn't see anyone get anyone right on that episode that I was watching.
They got a couple of the
Because they were
running
good
backs.
questions.
All right. Well, tell me how good this question is.
Are you going to have the right answer?
Yes. Xenophobia is the fear of what? Oceans, dogs, numbers, or large things?
Any question?
CYNO phobia.
Oceans, dogs, what?
Big
Numbers?
things.
Numbers and big.
Large things.
I don't think it's numbers, but it would make sense to be numbers because it's fantasy. And I feel like that's the obvious one.
Oh shit.
I have my answer. Answer secured.
Do you think Matt would know this?
All right.
Matt the Bat.
I'm just taking a guess.
It's the fear.
Of dogs.
Oh. I put
I wrote
numbers.
big things.
It's the worst trivia ever. I got no points.
Worst trivia ever.
I'm just mad because I got no points. I'm also mad because I got the question.
Neither did
right.
I. I didn't get any points.
Yeah. I
No
could
points
have
while
won, but
Matt's
it's kinda
gone.
hard. Yeah.
Nah, don't pull anything out. We'll just bounce back with trivia next week. All right, where are we at? Q&A. We had a couple questions submitted on Instagram, so let's break those down real quick. Lil Kev had a relevant one to this. We kind of touched on it already, but how does Allen Robinson's arrival affect Cooper Kupp's value for the season?
Barely?
I want to say barely.
I want to say slightly more than Robert Woods did, but Not by much.
Clearly, that didn't matter because the ending still how it ended how it did. So
Yeah.
He's
Well,
still
Woods
the
ended up
guy,
getting
and
hurt.
it's still going to him. Like he's
Yeah.
still getting like at least 14 targets a game.
Yeah. Kupp is going to be the guy. Kupp's going to still be that top 3 wide receiver, if not number 1 that you're expecting. So
wait, based on this, I can make a quick trivia question if you want it. What was Cooper Kupp's number before 10?
9.
4.
18.
Ow.
I didn't even know he was 18 until I saw some old picture the other day.
I didn't know that either.
That was an easy, quick point.
Yeah, well, it wasn't
Not
easy. I had to
easy.
guess between 0 through 99. Just kidding. I don't know exactly what numbers wide receivers can wear, but
Any number now.
well, yeah, I know, but before. All right. Next question at Erock asked, is T. Higgins a top 20 wide receiver in the league for fantasy and for NFL purposes?
Yes. Yes, he is.
No.
Yes, he is, dude. He's so good.
He's so good.
Just watch him play. The eye test. All you need is the eye test. I'm telling you. He's
T.
cracked.
Higgins is a top 20 wide receiver in my book as well.
Q,
I have him
please
especially for
write down
fantasy.
20 better right now.
For fantasy, I have T. Higgins at 13. Like,
You want
he's
20 better?
borderline
Yeah,
wide receiver.
I'll
one.
give you the ones that I put at that. Amari Cooper. I'm starting from 20.
Okay. I like Amari Cooper slightly more.
DK,
Okay.
Terry McLaurin, Brandon Cooks.
No, I'll disagree with Terry right there. I'll stop you right there.
I don't think Terry. I think I'd
Okay.
rather have T. Higgins than Terry. It's close, though. They're close.
I'd put Mike Williams above him. I'm just kidding.
I'm
Mike
just
Williams.
kidding.
Okay. No, you're not kidding.
I'm
You just
just
said
kidding.
it, and then that was your
I
safety
was
net.
looking who's close to. I put Jalen Waddle ahead of him.
For fantasy, no.
Oh, yeah.
Because of Tyreek Hill, but also for real life, no. Because T. Higgins, I thought he was just more of a difference maker.
T. Higgins is to me what Cam Akers is to T. Gods.
Don't know enough.
Okay,
I don't care
fair,
about him.
fair.
I just don't care
That's
about
a fair point. Fair point. Well, if you don't care about him, I mean, T. Gods are going to speak for the podcast and say he's a top 20 wide receiver. in the league for
100%.
fantasy and for NFL purposes. He's got that dog in him.
Michael
Plain and
Thomas.
simple. Michael Thomas.
He doesn't
bro, We
count.
haven't seen him play in like 3 years.
But
You can't really
from what we
rank him anymore.
remember,
That's
well,
like
I'm
saying
ranking him
from
top
what
20.
we remember from Julio Jones. That he's still
okay,
top 20.
that's different. That's different.
No, it's not. It's the same thing.
Last time we
Because
saw
Julio's
Julio, good.
played. He played last year. Last time we saw Michael Thomas at all was 3 years ago.
Exactly. It's been that long.
Big
Still
difference.
you can't rely on that to be the same 3 years later after injury after injury.
Well, I don't need him to keep T. Higgins outside of my top 20. So
All right. One more question I have before we ask some of the chat. Chat, if you do have any questions, start dropping them in the chat so that we can answer them. If not, we'll wrap up after this. But do we actually believe Gronk is retired or going to fully not come back this year?
No,
if the Bucks struggle, he might come back.
I think he stays with Brady till the end.
Yeah.
Brady's gonna be pissed when he only throws the Cameron Brate.
Ew, no one wants to watch Cameron Brate play.
Yeah, he's old. He's 30.
My God,
He's been around forever. He used to be catching touchdowns from what's his name? Jameis.
he's the only player hasn't missed a game in the last 5 seasons, or maybe like a tight end.
Interesting.
It was going to be a trivia question, but
Got too complicated.
no one was guessing Cameron Brate.
Maybe I was. Just kidding. Probably not. He does not come into my brain very often, but I would agree with you guys. I think there's a like 50% chance at least he's going to pop back this season at some point, even if it's midseason and not the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I feel like right now, like in his own brain, he's like, yeah, I'm done. But then like he's gonna just like see everybody back, and he's just like, he's gonna want to come back, and who's gonna say no?
Yeah. When Brady calls you up in week 7 and they're 6-1 and he's like, yo, come back and play. Like, it's going to be tough for him to say like, nah,
Right?
I'm good.
There's no
Unless
shot.
he's got some crazy stuff going on. But
You try and tell Brady no.
yeah, I'm not telling Brady no.
I'm not telling Brady.
You know,
no
he's
either.
Gronk's retired twice.
I know. He's they
He's
said
beating
I saw
Brady.
I saw something.
Yeah.
He's beating Brady, and Gronk said,
Watch out. Brady
he
doesn't
said,
like
watch
to
out,
be beat.
Brady's competitive. He does not like to be beat. Brady might fake retire real quick again.
Oh shit.
All right, but yeah, don't see any more questions in the chat here. Cass did say if we're going off what we remember of Michael Thomas, he'd be top 2.
I don't know if I would have put him top 2 too.
Back then, I would have. Right now, no. Like,
D
it's been
Hop's
3
still
years.
over MT. Dude, I will never
I
forget
had
fighting
D-Hop
with
over him.
Vince. about that. He swore Michael Thomas was. He's just not. He's not a better player than D-Hop.
You're not that guy, pal.
He's literally not that guy. And D-Hop is
wasn't.
him. He is him.
He is him.
Still definitely one of the best in the league, if not still the best.
Who's the best, Sean?
Right now?
Diggs.
That-
Don't say
no-
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's up there for me, man.
It's probably Devontae Adams.
Yeah, it's Devontae Adams right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree because like he was all banged up last year, but still, like D-Hop.
D-Hop's up there. Like actual talking, not fantasy terms, it's Devontae Adams. Top 5 would be Devontae Adams, D-Hop, Diggs.
Justin
Diggs?
Jefferson.
Diggs
Diggs
is top 5
Okay.
for me, anyways.
Justin,
Justin Jefferson
Jefferson.
and probably Cooper Kupp. Mike Evans is a close though too, and Tyreek Hill.
Oh my
It's tough.
God, Mike Evans
Mike
so
Evans.
solid. He's
Mike
so
Evans is so
solid.
consistent.
Big Mike.
Literally a rock.
Cass also said, to be fair, D-Hop was the reason I said top 2. So
Exactly.
we're all in the same boat here. All right. I think that's a wrap for the NFC West. 2 divisions down. We have 6 more to go. Next week, we will be doing the NFC East.
Whoop.
Same time, 6 p.m. Monday and Thursday. Make sure you follow us here on Twitch. Turn notifications on so you know when we're going live. If you miss some of the episodes, throw us a sub on YouTube. Go check out our live streams there. They're all posted there. If you just want to listen to the audio, Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, wherever you want to listen to us, we're on there. And social media, of course, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Go follow us there for more content. Super Fantasy Bros. We're on all platforms. You'll find us. Q, Sam also said you have a nice apartment.
Thanks.
See you guys Monday.
Go Commanders.
Whoa, whoa.